Good morning, friends. Greetings and welcome to The Bright Side, your nutritional program dedicated to the vast world of nutrition and nutritional understanding. I'm your host, Pharmacist Ben, nutritional pharmacist from Boulder, Colorado. I specialize in using nutritional supplements where other healthcare practitioners use toxic pharmaceutical drugs and sometimes deadly medical procedures. If you suspect that there are natural nutritional roads to your health and vitality and well-being, and to addressing your health challenges, whatever they may be, but you don't know where to begin, you have come to the right place. As you listen to The Bright Side every day, you are more and more in control of your body. You are more and more knowledgeable, and you know you can overcome any health challenge. That is why we are here every day on The Bright Side, helping clear up the sometimes confusing world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. Over the last 33 years of practicing pharmacy, I have seen drug-free recoveries from diabetes, hypertension, obesity, skin diseases like acne, psoriasis, eczema, rosacea, digestive ailments, autoimmune issues of all kinds, recoveries that by the standards of modern medicine can only be called a miracle, but what is in the world of the body, what is in the world of biology, standard operating procedures. Because the human biological system is a healing system, it's a regenerating system, it is designed divinely to heal and renew itself on a moment-to-moment basis, and while some folks may call that a miracle, it really is just the way the body works. If you have questions about health, nutrition, prescription drugs, if you want to wean yourself off your meds and get on a good nutritional supplement program, you have come to the right place. We welcome your calls on The Bright Side at 844-236-6010, 844-236-6010. We have a guest coming on in the bottom of the hour, very interesting guest who's actually a listener. I don't know if Jeff is listening now. We call him OCD Jeff on this show. I'm going to start calling him Quantum Jeff instead of OCD Jeff. Jeff is a listener who has really taken on the ideas that we talk about here on The Bright Side. The Bright Side's really about ideas. It's about concepts. This isn't a show where I just give you advice about, we do give advice, that's for sure. And I have a certain way of looking at the body that can be helpful. So advice has its place. But this is mostly a show about ideas. And my real goal on The Bright Side is to have you guys take these ideas and run with it. Take the ball and run with it. The ideas are your football. Go for it. Grab the ideas and run for it and go for it. Not just in your lives, but in the lives of your friends and your loved ones. These ideas are so simple. They're so transferable. They are so mimetic. We can make these ideas into memes. The ideas that you have a life force that can be accessed. The ideas that greatness is within all of our cells and all of our bodies. It's built into us to be great. It's built into us to be healthy. It's built into us to have energy. It's built into us to be whole. The ideas of electricity, the ideas of quantum, the ideas of nutrition, the ideas of SMEP, spiritual, mental, and emotional and physical, the multidimensional nature of healing, the ideas of psychoneuroimmunology, how your psychology affects your neurology and your immunology, how your skin shows up as a reflection of what's on the inside of your body as well as what's inside of your soul and inside of your spirit, what your spiritual values are. There's so many basic concepts here that fly in the face of our ordinary understandings of health. And clearly our ordinary understandings of health need to be changed. They don't work. They're bad memes. Now, they make people a lot of money, and that's why there's trillions, with a T, trillions of dollars spent on healthcare in this country and multi-trillions around the world, and human beings are sick. As a species, if it keeps going this way, we're not even going to make it. Human beings are falling apart collectively. Now, it's true our lifespan's increasing, but our lifespan isn't increasing anywhere near where it should be, and our rates of cancer and heart disease and autoimmunity, diabetes and obesity and on and on and on are going through the roof. And it's because our ideas are bad. The Bright Side is about ideas, and my mission in life is to have you guys take these ideas, incorporate them into your own life, especially if you're sick, but even if you're healthy and young and you want to stay that way. And then, most importantly, share it. Pay it forward. Spread the information. That's why I always talk about the longevity business opportunity. The longevity business opportunity is a platform. It's not just a business opportunity. Yes, it is. You can make some money. You can make some significant money. But really, the way I look at it, and for me, and potentially for you, it's a platform. It's a stage from which you can share these ideas once you've incorporated them into your life. The idea that health is not about medicine. Health is about the choices we make. So anyway, Jeff, OCD Jeff formerly, and now Quantum Jeff, has taken on these ideas of quantum, of the electrical nature of the body, of neuroplasticity, and he's shared it with, he's done exactly what I'm talking about. He's taken it to heal himself, and he's taken it to share with others, and he's got a really interesting story, and I am really excited to have Jeff, Quantum Jeff, on at the bottom of the hour. We'll get to your phone calls here in our next segment. Our phone number, as always, on the bright side, 844-236-6010, 844-236-6010. If you have questions about anything that has to do with health and nutrition, or ingredients, or formulations, or skin health products, Truth Treatments products, if you have a testimonial, love hearing those, success stories, or if you just want to contribute to the conversation, and we'll get your calls in our next segment, in our second segment today, 844-236-6010. Longevity products can be found at brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, or criticalhealthnews.com. You can call 866-735-2470, and our True Skin Health products with our Skin Health blog, and new products coming out here in the next few days at truthtreatments.com. Pharmacy potency without a prescription. These were products that were all developed in my compounding pharmacy. They have pharmacy strength. You don't need a prescription for them, but they'll heal your skin like a drug, like you would expect a medicine to heal your skin. If you have cuts, scrapes, abrasions, fine lines, wrinkles, dark spots, you want to get rid of your dark spots. If you're using skin health products, by the way, and you're not taking advantage of the concepts that I've framed into my Truth Treatments, you're missing the boat. You're wasting your time. You're wasting your money, and you're wasting your time, and you're wasting an opportunity to really make a difference in your skin. And if you're young and healthy, that means you're wasting an opportunity if you're not using our Truth Treatments. If you're using something else that will help slow down wrinkles and fine lines. If you're older, you're wasting an opportunity to reverse your wrinkles and fine lines and keep your skin healthy. TruthTreatments.com for all our Truth Skin Health products. TruthTreatments.com. Okay, so we have been spending time talking about memes versus mechanisms, decision-making. Yesterday we had Dr. Dalrymple on. He was talking about how institutions encourage us not to make decisions for ourselves. They encourage us, institutions encourage us to buy into memes. They profit off of it. It's them against us. It's just like it's meme versus mechanism, it's institution versus individual. Keep this in mind. Institution versus individual. There's going to be debates on tonight. Democratic debates. I'm going to watch the Democratic debates. Probably a lot of you guys are going to watch the Democratic debates. But you know how much of the Democratic debates are going to be mechanism and as opposed to meme? Not very much. It's going to be jargon and meme and silly little slogans and very simplistic concepts like free college tuition for everybody and free pills for everybody, free health care for everybody. Understanding the mechanisms and the causes, that takes extraordinary. That takes special. Decision-making based on conditioning, based on habit, based on being told what to do, that's ordinary. Everybody does that. That's easy. The brain is wired to do that. But making decisions based on understanding, on how things work, making decisions on mechanism as opposed to meme, that's extraordinary. Most people, present company excluded, most people just want to be told what to do. You, my bright side listeners, you're not ordinary. You're extraordinary. You want to know how and why first. You're critical thinkers. That's why we spend so much time talking about causes on this program. And I know I fully recognize that sometimes we go into the weeds a little bit. But I'd rather err on the side of going into the weeds than just being some guy saying, take this vitamin and that vitamin. It's not fair to you. It doesn't respect you, my smart, critical thinking, bright side listeners, to not talk about the cell menu, to not talk about electricity, to not talk about digestive health as a precursor to disease, to not talk about all disease being cell disease, to not talk about dirty blood, to not talk about the emotional aspects and the spiritual aspects of health and of feeling strong and of feeling vital. It's not a service to you because you're smart. All right, we'll get to your calls here in our next segment. I am Pharmacist Ben. 844-236-6010 is our number. You're listening to The Bright Side. We'll be back after this. back on the bright side. I'm Pharmacist Ben. 844-236-6010 is our number. 844-236-6010. If you have questions about the longevity products or skin health questions or comments or success stories you'd like to share, if you just want to contribute to the conversation, we love hearing from you. 844-236-6010. We'll get your calls in just a sec. I hate to keep saying this, but check this out. New research shows Parkinson's disease originates in the gut. You guys, I've been saying these things for years. Don't wait to see it in the paper. Don't wait to see it in research. What I'm telling you on this program is strict biochemistry, and now the research follows it 10, 15, 20 years later. I've been talking about Parkinson's disease as a gut disease for decades. For the last 8 years on this program, and for decades, since I first dawned on me, the relationship between the gut and the brain. Parkinson's is a food issue, people. Now, by the time you have Parkinson's, you probably have some severe deterioration of the brain, so it's not like you're going to reverse it completely, but you can dramatically slow down its symptomology, and you can dramatically improve movement, the movement issues dramatically with the right food, and you can make things worse with the wrong food. And you can make things dramatically better by correcting gut problems at the level of the intestine. That is with probiotics, with connective tissue building. Don't forget about connective tissue building when it comes to intestinal health. Connective tissue building helps support the health or the integrity of the cells and the tissue that lines and protects the intestine from the blood, or separates the intestine from the blood. The barrier between the intestine and the blood is made up of connective tissue, which controls the mucosa, or the surface tissue, if you will. It's all about building connective tissue. So build connective tissue, strengthen the gut, stay away from problem foods if you have or know somebody who has Parkinson's. It's just as bad for spouses and for children of Parkinson's patients as it is for the Parkinson's patient. And that's extra doubly true for the dementia patient, and the same is true for the dementia patient. Parkinson's disease is Alzheimer's disease, equal, except for it's a millimeter to the front. Parkinson's is a millimeter to the back. The difference between Parkinson's and Alzheimer's is a millimeter, but the difference in our culture is miles. Why? Because we've got Parkinson's associations and Parkinson's drugs and Parkinson's doctors and Parkinson's T-shirts and Race for Parkinson's, and we've created this branding around our disease states, and it doesn't serve us. This is why we always talk about it doesn't matter. Your diagnosis doesn't matter, people. You're just falling apart. MBFA, my body is falling apart disease. It's the only disease. Our body falls apart. MBFA disease, for those of you who haven't heard me say that. It's the only disease. MBFA, my body's falling apart disease. All right, 844-236-6010. We got Quantum Jeff, formerly known as OCD Jeff, coming up at the bottom of the hour. And let's get a phone call in. See if we can get at least one phone call here. Barry in New Orleans, good morning. What's going on? How you doing today? You're my classic smart, bright side listener, and I always enjoy hearing what you have to say, Barry.
Good morning. Yes, I want to ask you about elevated serum triglycerides. How does that negatively impact your health?
Blood fats. It's the beginnings of sticky. When they're elevated, it's the beginning of sticky blood. Your blood the fats tend to oxidize, and if they're not, triglycerides can be very unstable. So depending on how your nutritional status, how much antioxidants you're getting, how many vegetables you're eating, etc., there's a lot of factors that play into it. Triglycerides, number one, represent sticky blood, and number two, they rev things up. They rev up the system, which you don't want to do. So high triglycerides are, when they do blood tests, they tell you about cholesterol and triglycerides as if they were the same thing. So you'll get triglyceride test done and a cholesterol test done, and most people really pay more attention to the cholesterol than they do the triglycerides. Why? Because we get bombarded with commercials about cholesterol. Now, keep in mind, your high triglycerides are associated with high cholesterol. They tend to go together because the high triglycerides are a sign that you're not metabolizing correctly and that you're eating a lot of carbs. you're eating a lot of calories, but especially a lot of carbs. So it's not necessarily the problem. The high triglycerides are bad, definitely. They're going to put burden on the liver, and they'll clog the blood and the lymph. But the real problem is not that. The real problem is what's causing the high triglycerides, which is that's where your metabolic issue. That's called metabolic syndrome. And that usually is a problem with sugar and how you're metabolizing sugar. And that's really the issue. High triglycerides are kind of like a sign. So just to treat the high triglycerides, yeah, you may clean the blood out a little bit. But really what you want to do is regard your high triglyceride levels as a metabolic issue, a sign you're not processing sugar, or you're getting too many calories, or you're getting too much sugar. You follow what I'm saying? So all the things that we talk about that are associated with diabetes and sugar problems, like heart disease, for example, liver disease, obesity, hypertension, all of these are associated with high triglycerides, but it's not necessarily the high triglycerides that's the cause. It's like the high triglycerides are just a symptom along with the high blood pressure and obesity, et cetera. Does that make sense? You follow me?
Yes.
Okay. So, yeah. So use the triglycerides as a marker. It's not like you want to target the triglycerides, with the exception of you got to probably have a blood sugar problem, a metabolic problem that's causing that. And so there's an issue there. But other than that, my thing would be, if you have high triglycerides, is treat yourself like a diabetic. And you know what? We should all be treating ourselves like a diabetic, especially after like the age of 25 or 30 maybe. Just assume that you're dysglycemic. That means messed up blood sugar. At best, what you're going to be doing, or at worst, what you're going to be doing, at best, what you'll be doing is you'll be saving yourself from horrible diseases down the road. At worst, what you'll be doing is just taking care of your health, because we don't need all those carbs. Nobody needs all those carbs or all that sugar. We don't need anywhere near the calories we're getting. Nobody does. We can get by just fine on 1,200 calories a day, and most of us are getting triple that. Of course, it's going to add up and create problems. So just following these kinds of strategies, even if you're healthy, can save you a lot of headaches down the road. And if you're not healthy, they can really make a significant difference. All right. Anything else there, my friend Barry?
Yeah. Well, the reason I asked is because I like to eat a lot of fruit, and I was looking on the computer, and that's basically what one doctor's opinion was, that eating too much.
Yeah, fruits. You know, anybody who tells you about fruit, this is another mean versus mechanism, okay? Fruit. Oh, it's yummy. It's delicious. It's natural. It grows on trees. It's got to be good for you. It's pretty. Guess what? The apples we eat today didn't exist 100 years ago, let alone 10,000 years ago, or 20,000 or 100,000 years ago, when our genes were taking shape, when our cells were developing, when we were learning how to be human, when our body was adjusting to the environment. Remember, our bodies are based in chemistry and biology and physiology that's 10,000 or 20,000 years old. We are the descendants of a time gone by when there were only little tiny crab apples. You know what I'm saying, Barry? There weren't big, fat, red, juicy red apples with glyphosate in them, no less. All right. Got to go, Barry. Thank you for your call. Appreciate it. I'm Pharmacist Ben. We got Quantum Jeff coming on in our next segment, formerly OCD Jeff. And I hope you find this interesting. I find him very, very fascinating. You're listening to The Bright Side. We'll be back right after this. Okay, we are back on The Bright Side. I'm Pharmacist Ben. We're on the air Monday through Friday, 8 to 9 Pacific and 10 to 11 Central Time, 24/7 on the archive page at brightsideben.com. You can purchase longevity products at brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, or criticalhealthnews.com. You can also sign up to join the Brightside Ben team for a one-time $30 fee. Have yourself a longevity business and help spread the word about the power and importance of a good nutritional supplement program. You can call 866-735-2470 for more information, or go to brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, or criticalhealthnews.com. You can purchase longevity products as well as click on the Join the Team link on the websites, and you can also check out our videos and news stories and blog posts at criticalhealthnews.com, pharmacistben.com, and brightsideben.com. And you might want to start checking, I don't know if I should say this yet, but you might want to take a look at truthnourishment.com. We've got some cool products up at truthnourishment.com, and then also truthtreatments.com for all our Truth Skin Health products. All right, I am really excited to have our guest on, formerly known as OCD Jeff, Quantum Jeff, I will now call him, because he has taken on the quantum nature. He's not intimidated by the quantum nature of the body or the quantum nature of reality, really, because everything is quantum, folks. And that's the fundamental level of reality, and that's the fundamental level of health and wellness or disease. And we're understanding at least what's going on at that level, and really, it's not hard. You just got to be able to leverage a few different things like spirituality, mentality, emotions, nutrition, food, everything we really talk about on this program. But understanding its mechanism or how it works at the really most fundamental level gives you a lot of power and a lot of leverage. Jeff has taken these concepts on to heal himself and to start a healing practice of his own. And I want him to share his message with you guys. What's up, Quantum Jeff?
Hey, Ben. Hey, I'm having a hard time hearing you for some reason.
I don't know why. You want to? Is there anything going on there? Is Jason, my producer? I don't know if he's going to try turning up. Is that better?
A little bit. Can you turn it up or no?
I think he did turn it up. Can you make it with us? Can you make it, Jeff?
There you go.
Okay, good. All right. So, Jeff, first of all, thank you so much for wanting to come on the program. It's an honor for me. I know you say it's an honor for you, but it's an honor for me as well.
Oh, it's a total honor for me, Ben. I mean, you're kidding me. I've been following you forever. And, I have, and like I said, I've listened to 8 years of your show. So what I've done, your methods and theories are incorporated into my business at Quantum Levels Healing Academy of Sciences as well. So yeah, it's when it comes to when it comes to healing, as you know, Ben, quantum physics to integrative medicine is the healthcare of the future, because obviously allopathic medicine, conventional medicine does not work, and there has to be some kind of paradigm shift, and that shift is coming.
Yes,
it is coming. I mean, because like I said, what we're doing just isn't working. And I've spent over 4 straight years, as they say, down the rabbit hole, and I have come up with the answers to a complete healing process for all human beings, and it could really be said for any living organism. As wild as that sounds.
Jeff, that sounds awesome. And I want you to, for the listeners, because you're a really in-depth guy, but for the listeners, I want you to simplify it as much as possible. So you're saying that the ideas we talk about in the bright side, you've incorporated into this model that you have for healing any illness. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, that's beautiful. Now, tell the listeners how you healed yourself first, and you use some of these ideas to heal yourself, correct?
Oh, no, I never really. I've been fine. I just see what was going on in the world, and I just see how sick everybody is. It's just getting worse and worse and worse. So I just, kind of took it on myself to start healing people. And my buddy Tim, who suffered from seizure disorder, was the first person that I worked with when I started the Quantum Levels Healing. And he got such such unbelievable results. He went from having 2-3 seizures a day to 1 in 8 months.
I remember you mentioned this the last time you called, but tell the story of Tim, who he is, what he suffered from, what you did, and then tell us the results again. So who he is.
Tim he's been suffering from seizures for about 29 years, 5 brain surgeries, involved with the medical model, UCLA, USC, every doctor, every medication you can think of. He got to the point where he was having 2 or 3 grand mal seizures a day. And this has been going on for about 29 years. And he finally came to me and said, I've tried everything, the CBD, I've tried it all, and I'm worse than ever. So, I took all knowledge I've learned and my theories, and I didn't know if everything was going to work. But, when it did, and I started to work with him and working on the electrical nature of the body, obviously, because, when it comes to seizure disorder, there's an electrical misfiring somewhere. He was holding too much weight, mind, body, soul, everything. So I started working with him, and lo and behold, he got better, and he's had maybe 1 seizure in almost a year.
Tim, I'm sorry.
3 or 4 a day.
Hey, Jeff. Let me ask you a couple things, okay? First of all, is he a personal friend of yours, or is he somebody that you just met? And then also, I want to know specifically what you did for this guy's seizure disorders. Pretend you're talking to somebody out there, and there is definitely somebody out there who's dealing with it, either themselves or somebody they know. So, number 1, who is he? And number 2, tell me exactly what you did for this particular case, for this particular patient.
Well, Tim, he was a friend from high school. I knew him from high school, and I've watched his story with, the brain surgeries, and he has a seizure dog. I remember him raising money and everything. So I kind of been watching the case and, for years and years and years. And when I started working with him, I said, we have to, for one, he was like 285. I'm thinking, you're holding too much energy. There's too much energy, and the energy in the body's not being processed properly because you're just basically holding too much energy.
Nice.
And then, his diet wasn't that good and stuff. So I started working with him, and he started dropping the weight, and I really made sure, and I really dropped the calorie restriction, fasting, pretty much just basically a diet of vegetable juices.
Wow.
And, other things as well, but mostly vegetable juices. And we really worked on the electrical nature of the calcium, magnesium, potassium as electrolytes to try to get that into balance too. So as he started, he started fasting. And Tim fasts every third day, 24 hours every third day.
That's awesome.
Because,
awesome.
as you know, calories equal work, which equal energy, and it's just too much energy on the body.
Hang on a second here, Jeff. Hang on a second here. You have really absorbed, these are the major pillars that we talk about in this program. You've really absorbed these pillars, slowing the body down. I mean, I don't even say that exactly sometimes, but that's the gist of it, kind of calming everything down, and you really got that. That the fact that there's an energetic phenomenon when you have seizure disorders, the body's not processing energy correctly. There's too much energy. It's an energetic phenomena, which of course is a quantum phenomena, and you really got that.
Yes.
And once you understand that, that gives you leverage over everything. Once you really understand that, the lower you go on the totem pole, the more foundational you get at the causal level, which, and of course, doesn't get more foundational than quantum and then electricity, the more leverage you have. And you really nailed that. And I want to commend you. That is really super duper impressive.
I appreciate it. Yeah, because, when it comes to the quantum level, the invisible always becomes the invisible, which hence is disease.
Have you been listening to The Bright Side? Jeff, holy cow, man. You got that down. The invisible always precedes the visible, and that's where you got to work at for everything you want to accomplish from the physical level. All right, excuse me, Jeff. We got to take a break. We'll come back. We'll give you another segment when we come back. I'm Pharmacist Ben.
Have you?
Okay, we are back on The Bright Side. I am Pharmacist Ben. We're talking to my friend and listener, Quantum Jeff. Sound like me over there on the other end of the world. Where are you, in California, Quantum Jeff?
Yes, Marietta, California.
Okay, so you're not the other end of the world, but you sound like me. This is all the stuff that we talk about here. So tell me what you think about, you wrote me a little blurb here, and you talked about people looking at people as individuals. Now, that's a very interesting concept because in a way, human beings are generic, and you need to approach it that way. We all process energy, and we all have a bloodstream that needs to be cleaned, et cetera. But there's also the idea that we're all individuals, and we all have our own, as you say, the visible comes from the invisible. We all have our own visible or invisible aspects and scaffolding or framework upon which the visible kind of hangs. So you got to work with the individual nature from this invisible perspective, correct?
Yeah, that's a great point that you bring up. Cause it's hard. I can't stress enough on when it comes to working on the quantum level, waves, vibration, flow, cells, atoms, thoughts, mindfulness, chemistry. Everything breaks down in the body to amino acids, fatty acids, salts, bases, nucleic acids. This is where it needs to be worked because this is where everything is happening. How could it not happen there? I don't understand why everybody doesn't understand that. But when you brought up a very good point, when I work with someone, it's very important to treat each person as an individual. There's so much disconnect in the medical model. How are you going to heal an individual with 15 minutes of time? It just makes
ridiculous,
no sense.
Jeff.
So when I work with an individual, I find out everything about them: childhood, stress, trauma, religious beliefs, habits, values. I need to know this stuff because let me give you a great example, Ben. Say I have two women, they're both 40 years old, and they both have lupus. But one of those women just lost a child 6 months ago. Their chemistry and their biology is going to be far different, and that has to be addressed.
I hope everybody understands what you just said. That is so powerful, Jeff. those components, the existential traumas that we face and deal with every day live in our connective tissue. They live in our connective tissue, meaning they live in our bodies, meaning they live in our biochemistry. And so all of those aspects...
Calcium ions in the muscle, believe it or not, are holding those.
Yeah, calcium ions are holding those. Membranes, cell membranes are holding those. The transport of ions as well as the binding of hormones on the membrane is all dependent on those ideas. And like you say, this is the way, we're the tip of the spear. This is the way healing is headed. I didn't say medicine, by the way. I said this is the way healing or our understanding of healing is headed. It's headed into controlling our biochemistry at the quantum level with our thoughts, with our minds, with our emotions, with our souls and spirits, with food, with oxygen, with movement. And that's what this is the key message on this program, is that we have all of these leverage points that we can access this divine force with, when it is the divine force, with from the comfort of our own living rooms, bathrooms, and kitchens and bedrooms. So, all right. So, Jeff, we only have a few minutes here, so I want you to tell me, you've come up with a generic protocol that involves all health challenges, and that's perfect because that's exactly what you want to do. So in a succinct way, you're dealing with somebody comes to you in your practice, you're dealing with them. Tell us how you would deal with it, keeping in mind that there are listeners here who are going to incorporate these ideas for healing themselves and also their loved ones or friends or whoever. So succinctly. So somebody's coming to your office.
Well, what I do is not only taking the person as an individual, but there's something called downward causation, where we work from the mind down. The medical model uses what's called upward causation from the ground up, which just doesn't work. Materialist, you can't heal matter with matter, and you need to focus, like I said, on individual. And when I work with someone, I want to bring that person back to full potentiality, the best husband or wife, the best mother or daughter, the best coworker, the best friend. We return them to their hobbies, things they like to do before they were sick. And I also involve the family, friends, church group, so we get all that positive and love for the person to heal. Because if a person has a huge support system of love and positive energy, it's scientific proven fact that they will heal far better. It's just the way it is. It's been proven scientifically. So we have to work with that process. They do have some type of trauma, because when someone most people live in the past. I mean, there's a lot of work done by Dr. Joe Dispenza. People live in the past. So if they're still living in that trauma of losing someone or something, their chemistry and biology is living in that past moment. How do you heal? I mean, when you're in stress and trauma, the immune system shuts down. You can't love, trust, be creative. You can't be a critical thinker when you're in that state. So we have to get you out of that state and bring you to the present moment, because you can't heal living in the past. There's no way you can heal properly by living in the past like that. So each individual person needs to be looked at on an individual basis and find out what's going on with them.
Once you identify, what do you do?
Once we identify those problems, I mean, there's the whole nutrition, of course, about that, but we work with those problems. We associate, what have you learned from this past mistake? Let's look at this trauma in a way that, what did you learn from this?
Are you talking, Jeff, are you talking about a payoff? Like, what was the payoff for you? Or are you talking about what is the lesson? A lot of times we do things because we self-sabotage for like a reason, some kind of perverse reason. We self-sabotage ourselves. We don't deserve things. We're not good enough. We hate ourselves. All these weird things. So there are all those dynamics. But when you say, when you're talking about how you correct the problem, and that's really what I want to get to, we only have a couple minutes, how you correct the problem, you're talking about addressing it at the level of what the payoff is or what the lesson is.
What the lesson, more the psychological level. So somebody had a bad breakup or divorce. Instead of looking at that situation as something so horrible and you've been living in this past moment, let's look at what could be learned from this. What can you get from this? And then you also associate different meaning. You give a different meaning to the situation, which will help you. And then you kind of bring it out. We talk about it. We figure out what's going on, associate different meanings with that trauma, and just basically dealing with that so it's not suppressed, so we can move on into proper healing, because there's no way to heal. You see people that they went through a divorce or they broke up with someone, and it's 2 years later they're still angry about it. There's no way to heal when you're still angry about this. How are you going to possibly heal?
Yeah. Anger's kind of interesting, because when we get angry at somebody, that somebody doesn't care. They don't even know. But your cortisol goes up and your immune system's suppressed and your blood pressure rises and your stress on your kidney and on your liver and on your heart is increased when you're angry. Nobody else cares. The other person doesn't care.
It's like you're drinking poison expecting them to have the effect of it.
Yes, exactly. It's kind of a silly concept when you think about it. All right, step by step. I only got a minute here, Jeff, so you got to help me. I want you to help the listeners.
And then also,
quickly.
too, one part that's very important, too, is not only the aspect of bringing someone back to full potentiality, but we also have the chemistry and the physiology we need to work on. So real quickly, I work the microbiome, any inflammation in the body to bring that down. We work the bile system, stomach acid, connective tissue, making sure you can absorb your vitamins, minerals, blood sugar, lymphatic system, hormone system, and adrenal, thyroid issues as far as the psychological part. As far as the physiological part goes, because that's important as well. And then I practice and we do, and then basically we do. And then once everybody's through that, we got the mind right. We're working the visual. Then we work on stress, of course. And then what's very important, too, breathing, meditation, practice gratefulness, mindfulness, love, compassion, critical thinking. And I have people do volunteer work as well. Let's volunteer. Do something for someone else to make you feel better. So when we put all these systems in place and we do all these things, people go from degeneration to regeneration. And then I found out in 3 to 4 weeks.
That is so awesome. You're you're AKA Ben. That's awesome. That is
I've learned. I'm so honored.
That's unbelievable.
I've
never talked to myself
now
before.
that I'm in working towards my doctorate in quantum physics and integrated medicine at Quantum University, I've been able to learn all that and incorporate all that with all the teachings.
And you're going to put your own spin on it. You're going to put your own
everything into one. It's just amazing. People get better in 3 to 4 weeks. And you go to the doctor, they expect you to come back for the rest of your life.
You have totally nailed it. 100 A++. If you were taking a test on the Bright Side Philosophy, A++. That's,
and of course exercise and movement of the body as well.
Hey, and it's not even that complicated anyway. It's there's so much common sense here. It's really not. Hey, Jeff, I got to go. Thank you so much. That was awesome, and I hope our listeners really got into that.
And let me give out the website, quantumlevelshealing.com.
Quantumhealing.com?
Quantumlevelshealing.com.
quantumlevelshealing.com. Check it out. I'm going to check it out too. I didn't even know it existed. Thanks so much for listening to The Bright Side. I'm Pharmacist Ben. We'll talk to y'all later, folks. Bye for now.